The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it again with Barkley. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. This defense for the Vikings, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. Room here to run. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Huntley to throw. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. It's Barkley on the counter. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And Barkley did not get there. On 4th down, Huntley. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive, and he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Gun.
Slot man moves right. They go back to Pollard on second down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down.
These guys off the edge are already tough to contain when they're protecting a stationary target. Ask them to hold their blocks when a runner is struggling to find a lane, often an impossible task. Regardless of the outcome on the scoreboard, that will be one of this game's biggest stops.
This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November, but they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Here's Huntley. He lets it fly from Lockett. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Washington. Tyler Lockett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now a 7-0 game. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a 1st down. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Cousins. Open man is Kmet, the tape. And the ball is knocked out. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Hold the stick. Hey, let's go.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley down at the 25.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw, Huntley. Steps away to his left. And his throw is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Huntley. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Vikings are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Throwing, Cousins. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Touchdown, Washington. Calvin Ridley, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, here's Cousins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked by Troy Reeder. And the Vikings will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They go back to Pollard on second down. They find some open field here. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Gonna run again here with Pollard. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, Cousins. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Now it's Lockett. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
He finds him again, Saquon Barkley. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. They'll look to throw again. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt, and that will extend their lead even further. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. Always got some breathing room. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Cousins now. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope. Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Pollard again. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. 81 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And you hear it all the time, but that's one of the dangers of the blitz. You get past that first wave, nobody else is there.
And when teams blitz, what they're trying to do is make you lose your poise, lose your timing and your tempo. But when you hold it together, you can really hurt them the other way, getting past that first wave.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
In the third quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Pollard going to try the right side. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Here we go.
Cousins gets this one out wide quickly. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Mecole Hardman from a yard out. And the Vikings are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point up and through. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. Pringle going to stay in the end zone, and this will come out to the 25. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
And you could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime. They sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Taken down at the 42.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. Calling a gain of 3 on the play.
And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
53 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This one caught by Ridley.
And the Commanders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Huntley. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. George Kittle from 3 yards out.
And the Commanders add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. An important score there, CD, and now an important extra point because it would make it a 3-score game.
Love the map there, and at this point in the 4th quarter, look, we all need next-gen stats, right? We all use them, but we don't need them here, do we? Because that means it's almost a certain victory.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Usually see those guys out wide get called for holding on running plays. Here a passing play.
Yeah, sometimes we get this quick screen, bubble screen, anything where they're having to block for their fellow receiver, usually at the point of attack, and this time he got caught.
To throw, Cousins.
That's complete right side to Kmet.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, we're good, we're good. One.
Now Cousins.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Commanders will take over possession here up at the 44.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 67 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
Brought down by Ed Oliver.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority.
And a loose football.
Touchdown, Washington. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And he looked right off the line like he knew that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Cousins.
And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. Got a man. That's Richie James. The 30. 10. 5. Touchdown. Vikings.
Well, for as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one better than 20 miles an hour.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a two-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the two-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Barkley, inside handoff. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Hit and drop behind the line by Dre Greenlaw.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. That one looks like he'll throw here. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. George Kittle with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Commanders have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
To try again after the sack. Cousins, now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
One last shot now for Cousins.
He'll get that complete to his tight end, Komet. So a victory here for the Commanders.